Well, we're excited tonight because obviously we have to be all in. I mean, with everything going on with the SCOTUS ruling, it just feels right now so unsettled and crazy that we're so glad we're in the room tonight together, but we cannot leave anything at on the table. So what we have going for us is the summit is already kicked off. We have a whole month all the way to the election to work together to make sure we do go all in to win. And so, but we want to get everybody together tonight because we do have stuff we want to tell you so we can make it successful, and we make sure that everybody is doing what they need to do to make sure that we're all in. So tonight is the big kickoff. And we really want to cover some important aspects that people have had a lot of questions about, and that is this all-in community. So tonight, we're going to talk about the all-in community, walk you through that. And then also we want to talk about the workshops that will be coming up. And then we're going to be making sure that we'll be curating those all the way through November also, but we want to make sure that you know about what's happening and how to access those. And so that will be cool. And then we want to make sure also that we want your input as well, because we have plenty of opportunity for this community, being a member of the online community, that maybe some things you want to see or speakers you want to hear from. So make sure that this is all about being all in to participate together. So just know that there is always to communicate with us to say, I really like to host this. I really like to see that. So that's awesome. So what is the all-in community? Well, it is a place where we can grow and sustain and be empowered year-round as a grassroots community network. We can collaborate, we can organize, take action, and cheer each other on to make sure we keep Virginia, well, keep it blue, like as blue as we can, right? What the all-in community actually does, it has a couple aspects to it. For now, what we decided to do is start it with the Women's Summit, so we have a concentrated audience to sort of build it. And then it's going to probably take time. Oh, good, Lindley's coming in the room. How exciting is that? I saw Lindley Thorne come in. So tonight we're going to talk about like how you, with the Women's Summit access, how we can stay connected, and then talk about the in-person events and different things that will be happening. It will happen all inside this community platform. Also, what's cool that we can do bi-weekly catch-up. So we already built that into it. So we'll be checking in with each other every couple of weeks. And that's another cool aspect of how this community works. And what's also neat about it, it goes beyond the summit. So after we wrap up the summit, I mean, our goal is to continue this. We're always looking forward to see, you know, in this grassroots activity, how we will persist, resist, and just stay with it. And that is finding a place where we can work all together. I know a lot of you are in different groups, and there's, you know, issues sometimes with these other social platforms. This one is ours, it's private, and we don't have to worry about all these issues that come with other other platforms. So that's pretty neat because it is all about the long game. So with that said, I'd like to call up Robin, and we're going to talk about, because she is somebody, of course, you know, Robin, she knows all about the community, working really hard to make sure that it's going good. So how's it going so far, Robin?
I think it's going great. We got 36 people here. People are signing up to join All In to Win. Just put the link in. So if you haven't signed up yet, go ahead and do it now. So, Catherine.
Yes.
Why did we start an online community? Because I want everyone to know that Catherine is the motivation for us building this community. So tell us about it, Catherine.
Well, I'm going to say that I found this community, I'm using it in another group that I joined, and I thought it was pretty super awesome. And because of the way that you can integrate with your calendar, you can also like host things like this tonight. We'll be doing stuff like this, but we can do it through this platform. And that's also a pretty neat aspect of it. So I found it to be a great way to get into community. And what's cool about it, I'm meeting new members within it. So it's a really membership community. So you get to interact with other people. You get to really share the actions you're working on. So you're not blinded. You know, we all work in our groups. I know Melissa's in the room. Razor's in the room. I know Nancy's here, a lot of different people from different groups here. Lindley's here from Rural Ground Game. But you know what? We need a space where we're sort of all collaborating together. So that was a big thing. Yes.
So why now? Why do this community? We've got all the parts, but as we've talked about in the Friday Power Lunch again and again, we need to change our focus from election to the long game, because we've learned that we can't wait for candidates to get organized. We can't. We know that
can't wait for the party.
Can't wait for the party. We need to do a foundational change and look at this as the long game, that we're investing in every part of the state, not because we're going to win maybe the next election, but we want to change the whole foundation of Virginia to be blue. And that's what this community can do, is to help us organize all year round and not have the ebb and flow that has been happening. Well, the ebb and flow, they just stop it after the election and we have to rebuild again. So the value that this community brings to all of you as Women's Summit ticket holders is, one, you can participate in all the online communities in one nicely prepared environment. You can connect with all the people you're meeting, because we know that we're all in for all of Virginia. So all your buddies in rural Virginia that would take you, 4 or 5 hours to drive to, you can see them every day online.
Every day. And nice is that?
Yeah, and beyond the Women's Summit, this is a great place to connect with all your friends from the after chat at the Friday Power Lunch, the people you know from the Virginia Grassroots Coalition, the people you meet at the protests and the meetings at the legislative sessions. This is where we all know that it's a safe place we can go to. There's no ads. If anybody gets out of line, they're kicked out. So
they don't get a refund.
Yeah, and you are the inaugural members. We're building this together. We're investing in ourselves and investing in our future in this. So with that, I think we've got a little video to show, don't you, Catherine?
Yeah, I do. And I want to say too, before we get started, that our NOVA event was really super fun and successful. And I want to thank our sponsors that are in the room. Again, I love seeing them come in. Melissa, it was so great. The advocacy fair freaking rocked the space, right?
Yes, it did. It never stopped. People who were the exhibitors, they were exhausted at the end.
Yeah, they worked at a workout. So we're hoping in August, and we'll talk about events later, because we're getting ready for our August 12th event out in Waynesboro and Nelly's Ford. And I think everybody's looking. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's time. All right. right. Well, are you ready for us to open the door of the All In to Win community? We've had so much fun building it out, and we can't wait to take it to the next step with all of us as a community. Oh, I know, I just love that song. So everyone received their invitation to join, and as a ticket holder, you get a 1-year free membership. So when you click on the link, it takes you to this page, and to take advantage of your 1-year free membership, click on Try Free, and it's all taken care of. All you need to do is add your first name, your last name, your email, and you're in the community. So, are you ready to open the door and see it? Here we go.
Here we go. Does everybody in the room clicked on it? Do we know if people are doing it?
People are. I can see it. All right. So just to let you know, we're going to walk through the community, and we're sure you're going to have lots of questions. This is new to all of us. So you can put your questions in the chat, and I'll answer them as we go along. But we're also going to open the room up at the end, and you can ask your questions there as well. And we're going to be doing regular office hours in the community, and then we have the weekly catch-ups. So, we've got you covered with your questions. So when you go into the All In to Win community, this is what it looks like. Once you register, you can go directly to allintowinva.com. So when you're in the community, the first page is the home page, and on the left, you can see the navigation. So think of the home page kind of like Facebook, where you just have all the posts roll around and just keep going up and up and up. And here we've got a post from Fennell, from Stair. But my favorite navigation is the second one, and that's Discover. And this is where you get to, everything is organized, and you get to discover all that's going on. The first thing you get to discover is the welcome checklist. And we're going to be going through the entire checklist tonight, so you'll hear all about it. We also have all these upcoming events, and we're going to talk about each of them and preview each of the wonderful workshops we have that are starting this week. We also have groups, and think of this as a communities inside this community. So we've got a big community, and then we narrow it down into specific groups, and you're going to have opportunities to suggest more groups. And then we have topics, because we all have so many topics that we're passionate about. And this is a great place to talk about those topics that you're passionate about. Now, what would a community be without members? And what's a wonderful thing about the online All In to Win Virginia community is you get to meet all of these members. All of the members have profiles, and you can find out who's very active, and you can see who geographically lives near you, who are the new members. And it's fun just to get to know all these people beyond just the heads you see on Zoom. So let's look at one of the members. Let's look at Stairs and see what she wrote. Here's Stairs. She wrote, lifelong Nova resident and badass and fearless networker. Well, I think that just about sums up Stair. What do you think? Pretty good. I'd like to get to know her. So tonight we're here to talk about the events, and we have had so much fun putting together lots of events. In July, we'll also have events in August and September, because remember, the Women's Summit goes through September. But we're going to talk about all the events that are organized for July. So the first event in July is this Saturday. Yes, this Saturday, July 9th at 9 o'clock. It's on impactful leadership and social responsibility with Molly, who's a good friend of the Women's Summit from the SOAR community. She's going to be talking about the importance of companies being socially responsible and how consumers and employees and the public are pushing companies to be more responsible. Now, not only does she have a workshop this Saturday, but you can learn a lot about this topic because she's going to be one of the guests on the Friday Power Lunch this Friday with a wonderful panel of female entrepreneurs who are going to talk about how they are leading their companies to have a culture of corporate responsibility. Catherine, you want to add anything?
No, I'm all excited because some of these guests coming on are just awesome. One woman runs a media company and uses entertainment to do like anti-bullying ads and so forth. It's pretty exciting. So I'm pretty cool. I'm really stoked about this. And I think this Saturday one will be also really great. And it's really good to build our skills out. With so much going on, I think these kind of workshops really help us sort of focus on real skill building. So
and expand our view and not Molly is an incredibly powerful speaker, a TEDx speaker, best-selling author. She's definitely going to make a wonderful workshop. Then on Monday, in fact, every Monday in July, we have our Messaging Mondays, and these workshops are curated by our own Fennell Norton. And the first one is this Monday, July 11th, starting at 7. And this is going to be on the messaging formula of vision, villain, and value being put on by OPAL, the Ohio Progressive Action Leaders. No, you want to add anything?
Yes, Meryl is one badass woman. And I was so excited that Louisa introduced me to her. And so they didn't like the way that messaging was going down. And so they decided to do something about it. And so we'll hear about her site, which is fabulous in terms of what's happening and how to message and collateral that they have available on there. And they will also do a huddle for us, really demonstrating how you do the vision, villain, value. So everyone should be really excited about hearing Meryl.
All right, Fennell, don't go away because the next workshop is a workshop I've been hearing about from Fennell for a long time. This is you and the 34%. Did you know that in 2020, 34% of eligible voters didn't vote? And what this workshop is about is to not look at them as low propensity voters, but as high potential voters. And how do we get them from saying, I don't vote at the beginning of the conversation to where should I vote? Fennell, say a little bit more.
Yes, so I had a chance to go to this particular workshop and I was really excited. I couldn't wait to get them on. And in fact, I changed my language right away. I felt so guilty that when Elizabeth and I were chatting, I had low propensity voter on something. And I said, Elizabeth, I changed it already, but that was on before we had a chance to speak. So I think it's going to be a fantastic training. It's called motivational interviewing, and they use their skills to turn that conversation around. And we all need that because we can't afford to have 34% of our voters not vote this year.
All right. And then if it couldn't get any better, we have on Saturday, July 23rd, Lee Gimbel is going to come and do a workshop on better meetings for better results. Come on, we have all sat through deadly Zoom meetings. Lee is going to show how to make the meeting lively, interesting, engaging, showing you all sorts of cool things you can do on Zoom, you can do online, and do in person. So he's one of Catherine's finds. Catherine, you want to add?
Yes, I'm going to tell you about how I found Lee. So Lee, I was in activism when I started in 16, 17, and he is from DC, part of like the Rise Up movement. So, but then he started dating one of my cousin's girlfriends, and he was at the Easter celebration, and he gave me his card, Better Meetings. And then we had the best conversation. We talked and met again. Unfortunately, he's no longer dating my cousin's girlfriend, but now he's my date. And I love Lee. And I'm going to say to everybody in this room, go to this meeting. This meeting is this guy has so many great ideas. And I know a lot of leaders will say the same thing to me, and me is the same thing about my skills. As you go to try to have a meeting, we get in charge of groups, and some of these things we sometimes just don't know how to do, and that's okay. This is going to be so good. He does have all kind of great ideas. And within 10 minutes in the kitchen when I was cooking my lamb, he told me some really great stuff. I'm like, that's a cool idea. So please, I'm going to push this one. Every one of us should be in this meeting. So we need to be effective when we're dealing with people.
I have to tell you, every time Catherine talks to Lee, she comes back with 10 great ideas that we need to incorporate.
Yeah.
All right. And then our last
Boyfriend.
workshop in July is with Jackie Payne of Galvanize. Galvanize is the organization that is working at messaging to white women. They use behavioral science, data science, psychology, neuroscience to understand how can these white women vote for Trump, and how can we help message to them so that they understand how to vote in other ways. Fennell,
Lord have mercy. We surely do. And so when Jackie was on our Friday call, I just fell in love with her. And they have been so generous with their time and with their resources. And so we called up and asked, could she give us more time? And Jackie is actually going to do the presentation. And so I think it's so important to understand how these women think. And I think it's also important to understand that when you're knocking on the doors or on the phone, how to have the right conversation. And she's very giving of herself and her own experience to share how we should do that. So I'm as excited about this one as I am about the rest of them. So hoping that you guys will definitely make time to attend.
Sounds great. All right. So how do you register? When you're online in the community, you click on the icon and poof, a page comes up that gives you more information. And you can say if you're going, maybe you're not going. If you click and you say you're going, it changes color to the beautiful pink, and you can find out everybody else who's going. Because I always want to know who else is going, right? And you also have an opportunity to add it to your calendar. And I know Stair loves this feature. If you can't add it to your calendar, she often doesn't want to use that system. But this, once she saw you could add it to your calendar or any calendar you use, she was all set. So in addition to these wonderful workshops, the online community allows people to get together and talk about issues, talk about ideas. So if you have any questions about the Women's Summit, the topic Women's Summit is the place to go. This is where the slides from tonight will be, the recording of tonight will be, the recording and the video we showed, the other videos we have of the Women's Summit. This is the place to go for all of that information. There's a place where you can introduce yourself, questions and suggestions. We're growing this community together. Put your questions and suggestions there so that we can make it better. Think of this as the good first draft, but this is only a draft of what you see. Then we have the Badass Briefing that goes out every Thursday. But where does that wonderful information come from? Well, people email Stair. Now you can put it in the topic of Badass Briefing. So you don't have to wait for your Badass Briefing. You can see all these wonderful events anytime you want to. People can talk about messaging, postcards. We also have topics for all the candidates that need our help this election. And we have issues, topics that people can talk about. And we're all in this because we feel passionately about these issues, whether it's climate, democracy, voting, education, repo rights. But this is just the first stab at these. We need to know what other topics should we include and list them in the topic questions and suggestions. Put it in tonight's chat. Put it in the community. We're just getting started here. Then our wonderful feature is groups. So we can have communities inside this community. Clean Virginia has a community, and Fennell has started a community about all things messaging. What do they look like? They look exactly like the community I've been showing you. So it's a community inside the community. This is what the Clean Virginia one looks like. And here's the all thing messaging one looks like. Now, I see people are putting their questions in the chat. That's great. And I'm going to start and look at that because Fennell is going to now lead us in we're going to do some breakout groups. So for now, I'm going to hand it over to you and you let me know when you want to show everyone the questions.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm so excited to get to lead this part because this is now the opportunity for you guys to get to talk about what you think we need to be doing and what things we could do better. So I'm excited. So here's what the breakouts will look like. I believe that there'll be somewhere between 3 and 4 of us in the breakout groups. Everybody gets to talk in the breakout. So we want to be respectful and give everybody a chance to share. There'll be more than enough time. And then after we're done sharing, sort of think about the things that you want to say, because we'll have an opportunity to use one of the resources and go and post the things that we are most passionate about that came out of our conversation. So Robin, can we see the questions now?
Yes, we can. Here we go.
All right. So here are the questions, and we're going to also move these over to each of the breakout sessions. But what is one thing you wish people would do to help us win in November? I know it's only one. And what do we need in our grassroots activist community to be all in for the long game? And Robin, there's just one other thing that I really want to say about this. I am so excited about this community. And I really just want to say thank you to you guys, because you guys are making this investment. And I know that it's not free or anything in terms of how you are doing it, but you are making the investment. And all we have to do is by joining and now being active in it and engaged, and we get to invest in ourselves. And so that's how we win the long game. So thank you guys so much for this.
So we're now going to break everyone into groups of 3 to 4. Please accept when you're asked to go into one of the breakout groups. So there'll be several people, but we're going to keep it small so you can have a really good conversation, and take notes, because afterwards we want you to post what you talked about in the All-in-Win community. So take your notes, because there's already a place in the community for you to put your findings in. Fennell put a great post up and wants you to, this is where you can go online and put your things.
Right. And
So-
guys, let me just say, so everybody knows, and it'd be a great chance for us to chat tonight also and see each other in the room. This is a great practical exercise too, to get to learn how to use the community. So once one person in your group, or you can all take a few notes, and then this is great to, then when you go in the community, to post it. And so this will be awesome. If you have any questions later or any issues, you can always email Robin, and we will come back, because then we want to finish up tonight and make sure that Robin answers all your questions. So she sees them in the chat, and we'll see you on the other side.
So everyone ready? Here you go.
Hold
We're
on.
ready.
Where do I get to go? I can't wait.
Back.
You know what I have to say? It's never
What?
enough time. I was still talking. So that was so much fun. Oh, Susan, I saw you come in the room, and Susan Burke too. Hello, everybody. Oh, good. It's good to see Mary. Welcome back, everybody. That was fun.
So Fennell, I'm going to bring you back on here. How was your group?
My group was amazing, and we came up with some really great ideas. And I'm going to tell you, the Scooby-Doo van came up. So we're really all about that Scooby-Doo van.
You in that Scooby-Doo van.
But listen, it wasn't even my idea. It was
Ruh-roh.
So take your ideas and put them in the post that Fennell has set up on the All-in-to-Win community, where she has RuPaul clapping away in there. And I'm going to go ahead and put that back up on the screen so people can see it, because it's just too darn cute. And in the real thing, he's clapping. It's not just it's not just flat. So we're kind of wind up and get to the Q&A part of it. I did have a question that Melissa put in, and that was if the email that you sign up for is the email that you get all your information from. And the answer is yes. That's exactly how it works. Now, we do have 2 asks of you. The first ask is to go and register. The second is to go through the welcome portion in the Discovery tab. So when you go through the welcome, the first thing you're asked to do is read the article. It's a really short article that kind of gives you an overview of all the exciting things All In can do, but at a kind of at a high level, what we can do with this community. The second thing is introduce yourself. Here's my introduction. Just saying. Then RSVP to an event. We went through all the incredible workshops we have. Choose one of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, click
All
on
of them.
all of them, click on all of them and go, because they're just too good. And be sure to attend some of the catch-ups. Then follow a topic. We've got wonderful topics, but remember, this is just our first slate of topics. We've some people went ahead and gave us some really good topics. Economic justice was one. So what other topics do we need? Let us know. Join a group. Join one of these groups and recommend other groups that we can form. In fact, recommend a group and then volunteer to be the host, like Fennell did with All Things Messaging, and Clean Virginia is doing with theirs.
Yes, and I told Cheryl, like for public education, there were some great groups, and then you're the boss of those groups and make them work, because members are what drives it. We can't drive it. Membership. This is a membership community. So
cheer somebody on. Download the app. We're looking at this through the desktop, but you can also get it on your phone. You can watch it on, view it in your tablet. To do it, you just click on that and you get a link that will be sent to your phone. Or if you like to go to the App Store, look under Mighty Network. You download that app. It asks you what community you're involved in, All In to Win Virginia, and poof, you see it just like that. There you see my phones. And then lastly, you might want to adjust your notifications. We expect this community to be hopping and rocking, which means it's going to initiate a lot of action. Right. The default is to have you get an email every time somebody does something online. That's really way too much. So you might want to change it to the digest and to choose which notifications you want.
could I say that I like the digest because it gives you 1 email a day and it's your digest. I love it.
There you go. So once again, Stara, I want you to put in the, I'll do it, the join link in the chat. You've got it 2 or 3 times today. We'll keep sending it to you. And remember to click on the try free. And now I'm going to open it up for questions. So let me quickly make it so that everybody can
Unmute.
Doing that right now. Everybody can unmute yourself. Put your hand up and let's start talking.
Yes, it's really Galdo. Some people have a question. Hey, Fennell, look who I found. I have a Scooby.
Look, we're going to get that bus. I'm telling you.
A Scooby bus. All right. So anybody, I know Julie had a question. I saw that Melissa had one too. You want to raise your hand or just go ahead and unmute?
Well, let me go ahead and answer the questions in there. So one, can we have the ability to chat with other attendees in Zooms like this? Absolutely. We purposely turn off the ability for people to unmute themselves, but all the functionality of Zoom, you're actually working right through Zoom. So everything Zoom can do, you can do it. Melissa asked, it asks for your credit card. That is because you got 1 year free. And after that, you will then be asked to pay. We're using the Women's Summit money to pay for the platform now, but we are going to be charging people $35. So if you're not a Women's Summit ticket holder, you're asked to pay the $35 up front. The $35, that the credit card information is for next year, not this year. Thank you, Elizabeth. It says it's set so you can only chat with hosts, not with other participants. That will be fixed probably before you leave. Thank you for catching. We need people to catch things.
So Robin, this Zoom it's through the event. So these are just new settings for us. They're not our usual settings. Is that?
Oh no, we're not. This particular Zoom, we're not doing it within the community.
Okay,
But
got it.
when you do a Zoom through that, we have all the same features. But I
Okay.
really want to thank Elizabeth for catching that. And if you see something that's, that why is it only hosts or why is it only that, let us know, because there are so many things to check and uncheck that, we're fixing them as fast as we can.
We'll take a
Try
couple.
now, everyone. Try now, because I just changed it.
Try what?
Try seeing if you can chat
Now I-
personally.
No,
Still not?
Susan said yes. Oh,
yeah,
I could.
Yeah, participants should be able to chat with everyone.
Oh.
Or, yeah.
Wait, you were talking about here or in the online community? You were talking about in this, you know what I think happened? I made it so everyone could do it and then Stair did it at the same time, and I think we counteracted our.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right now? This moment? Okay.
I think that's what happened. Okay, so Melissa, you have a question.
Yeah, kind of a comment. One of the ladies in our breakout brought up, which is a great idea. We were talking about different resources in our different communities of interest. Is there going to be a place on this platform that we can put that kind of information so that we can amplify each other's efforts? She was talking about being on the LGBTQ advisory board. We've got members on the African American advisory board. That would be a great resource to help us.
And one of the great things is that all this information stays there. So yes, and yes.
Good.
Yeah, and I think too, what it is that if you're in a group, for instance, and you post stuff in there, I think you could keep, am I right, Robin? Files, posts, links in different places in the community, or we have a discovery, like a content community, you can always go back and see what the content. So, Nancy.
Yeah, I was interested in what we're going to be able to see of the summits. I'm not physically able to go to those, but I specifically joined. And I thought last year we saw live stream of the major parts of the event.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think with this particular event, we did record it. We didn't live stream it. And some of it came down to just not enough people and bodies to get some of these elements going, I'll be honest with you. But we did record the stage stuff, and we're sort of still going through all that. We have some pictures and different stuff. And like Cheryl, who's in charge of For Public Education, has the slide readout from what they did in the workshop, for instance. But, a lot of the online experience with the advocacy fair, it's sort of that kind of being there moment.
Yeah.
Some of the speakers and just some of that community that just happens, and the music and all that. But I think that's for the next event, we'll probably be more prepared. It was trying to find somebody that had a camera. It was just a lot of pieces.
I know. I can't believe how much work you guys do.
So sometimes at the very last part of stuff, you're like, yeah. And one year we had a guy who had a camera, a really official one, and it did a nice recording. So we have more time now to plan for August and plan for September. But Nancy, we'll do our best to bring as many elements, into the community.
So what you did from the first one will eventually be available on here when you get them edited.
Yeah, we have some of the pictures, some of that I think the slides are already up, but we'll put as much stuff. I mean, it may not be the best angle, but you'll hear some of the stuff, we'll try to do our best with that.
Okay, thank you.
Definitely the workshops, Nancy, a lot of the online will be just sign up for those workshops, and I think you'll be pleased with that. And then I think that's going to be really the bonus of all this community. Thanks. Anybody else? Hi, Susan. Good to see Miss Burke. Did you have fun at the All In? Did you have fun at the Nova event?
You know what? I missed it because
I thought I saw you there.
No, which one? Oh, at Nova?
At Annandale, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I had a great time. I just got late to this call because we're away on vacation and we were cooking dinner for crowd. But yeah, no, the All In event, that's the first summit I've made it to because we've always been away, and it was fantastic. And I'll tell you, in these trying times, what I need is, and I said this, Julie Galdo and I know each other. We went to the same college, but I said, we need, when everything's tribal, I like to feel like I've got my own tribe. So,
Yeah.
it felt that way. It was amazing and uplifting and energizing.
Yeah.
And we need to demolish any enthusiasm gap. So you folks do this really well. We've got to,
It
we
was
really-
good.
we've got to be in this for the long haul or the long game, right? That was the thing.
The long game. And Susan
game.
drove all the way up from Virginia Beach, and I loved it. It was great seeing you. It was great, all that. And to see Georgia. in person,
It was
too.
fascinating there. And Carrie Short came up. She was coming up she ended up stuck in traffic and came up late. And guess how I ran into her on Sunday at noon?
You
Right
ran-
in front of the Supreme Court.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Wow.
It's like a small world.
Potter
Um,
was there too, but she and I did not connect. But yeah, I did. I know Susan Potter was there at the summit,
yeah.
but I don't know if
Yeah.
Susan went to
I
go.
missed the Supreme Court. If I had gotten the message, I definitely would have been there.
Um,
Well,
It was really great. Y'all
Yeah.
did.
it was amazing.
yeah, it's good. So, Denise. Hello, Denise. How are you? Go ahead and unmute.
I'm fine, thank you. A question that I have is about the if you have the ticket for the summit. Well, I'm down here in Suffolk. I could not go to the one up in Northern Virginia. I'd like to go to the Tidewater one. Can we sign up for the tickets for that yet? Even though we don't know do we know yet where one's going to be,
Yeah.
what the schedule is or anything?
Good question. So with the ticketing, we've made it for the all-in. So if you're going to the Tidewater and you bought the $35 ticket, that should cover the Tidewater and access to the community, right? So right now we have the Friday is at Smart Mouth Brewery. That is, I think that pieces and parts may be up on the website. We do have the Friday night. It's at Smart Mouth, and that's going to be fun. That's just a social gathering, and then they're playing Mamma Mia at 8 p.m. That'll be fun. Then on Saturday will be in the evening. I have the Shack, just for socializing too. My problem I'm finding, and I need help with my Virginia Beach people, is finding the actual place in the morning, or we'll have our summit down there. And with so much going on and preparing for the August one, I sort of set that aside for a couple weeks, and now I got to return back because August is built out, and August is going to be, I'm looking forward to, it's going to be so much fun. We have everything booked already for that. We're just working on the program, and Lindley's in the room. So Lindley, maybe we'll hopefully get to talk about that. So yeah, we will be in touch.
So it will be in Virginia Beach, because that's important for some.
Yes.
Tidewater's a big area.
Yes.
So-
So yeah, we called it that. Now we know that we will be in that area. It could be that the actual Saturday could be in Chesapeake, maybe 20 minutes away. Chesapeake has a lot of opportunity. It will be definitely in that area wherever Elaine is. So yeah, it will definitely be in Chesapeake or Virginia Beach for Saturday, depending where we can find actual event space, which has been a little bit of a,
And I'm just going to jump in here and say that we do have a room block there in Virginia Beach. I'm looking for the link to share right now.
is it on the website?
I don't know that it is yet.
Okay, we need to put that up. Maybe it's a good idea. Yeah, appreciate that question. I'm just laughing. I'm thinking we're going to bring our towels from last year. We'll bring our beach towels down to right, even though it'll be September. I felt like I wanted to say
It's nice in September in the Virginia Beach Ocean.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
great.
there once in October. It was great.
yeah, we'll
Water will be warm. It'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
And there's not so many tourists.
And
Well-
if you park pass, First Landing State Park,
that's my favorite.
thing might be like there, but there's a beach on the bay side too. So
Well,
Yeah.
just so everybody's information, what's great about the community is you can post especially about actions your group is doing. So when you go in there, I think we have, Robin, is that going to be the Action Mondays, or what are we calling the post that people can post their action for the week or just in general?
Yeah, do it on Monday for the badass briefing.
That's the under the badass briefing. So why I'm saying that is like July 16th is a big group of people going down to Elaine Luria's district. So there'll be carpools going down there so those of you that live down there, note that Grassroots is coming down from this area down on that July 16th weekend. And then we'll be coming back again, a big group, obviously with the Women's Summit in September to hit doors for Elaine. So Julie, what's up?
So Catherine, I wanted to say two things. One is, how did we get so lucky to have a Catherine and a Stair and a Robin and a Fanal in our worlds? It's like, thank God. I've had a little chance to work with them in a very small way, and I see the amount of work that they do. I mean, these are full-time mega jobs that they're performing.
Well,
I mean, and I see Heidi and others who are doing great stuff, but these leaders, I mean, thank you, God.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Goddess.
Yeah. And then I want to say one other thing that I'm wondering, are there other groups like us in other states? It's kind of like, are there other planets out there, you know?
I'm sure there are.
Yeah, there's a seniors group in New York. Seniors Take Action, I think.
Love it.
I get their emails because one of the women here went to college with one of the leaders.
You know, I think that it would be so amazing if there were like a Illinois one and a California one. If we could get together after this election in November.
Yeah, I think there are, and I know like great groups that do good work, like Nope. Nope is really awesome, and Nope really does a lot of actionable work. So what I feel as in this group is, I look at everybody in this group, and I feel just as lucky and fortunate about saying that about everybody in this group, because it's true, you know. But these other groups too, like, I don't know if you know Nope, but they come out of DC and different areas, or Swing 13.
They're in Maryland.
Nope Neighbors, yeah. And then that Swing Left 13. There's some really, really great groups. And that's why it's important for all of us to be in this community, because the Grassroots Coalition, Dennis does the website. And my goal, Dennis, and when we met, how many years ago, when I was like, we worked on the website, I'm like, we need a place to put all our stuff in one place. So this is an extension of that. So my hope
2017.
Right. My hope is, Dennis, when we have this vision of this community, how do we integrate this with our website? And then this online community, and those need to interface at some point. So that's the vision, you know?
I was thinking that there's some things I can't put on the website because it's public. And so great to have this online community where the kinds of events you don't want spread around.
Right. So what we can do though is maybe at some point, you know, either it's advertised how to join, and then we don't let just anybody in. You have to go through like a vetting system to get in the community. But it would be, I think at the long run, this would be great to somehow look at the Grassroots Coalition groups, and here's our directory and here's our community that you can actually get in, right?
So I wanted to answer a question that was in the chat. When you go to register for your free 1-year subscription, it asks credit card information. It's not going to charge you till July 2023. But like a lot of places, like hotels, it asks for your credit card information, so it's on file. So it will ask you if you want to renew in 2023.
So my guess, Robin, is this is going to be a prohibitive thing, meaning that we need to talk about it in an email and talk about it in other places, because people may be a little freaked out about it, right? Because
sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. And I understand that people are like, what the hell? They're taking my money now, but we're not the Democratic Party making you pay for anything. All right, so I don't want to keep anybody. It is 8:05, and let's get back to making dinner and all that good fun stuff. So I want to thank everybody for coming. And let me just say one thing. It's going to take time. This community is not going to be like, it's us that makes the community and us that makes it work and move. But we will definitely be here to guide that so we can get started. But it's going to take a couple weeks to understand it. I still am learning my community. So like anything, you know, it will take time. So thank you, Fennell, thank you, Robin, Stair, everybody. Great to see everybody.